We're back again
By popular demand.
by popular demand. We're here again, doing a off the hook. We got a couple of guitars again that we've taken off of our hooks, and we're going to see. Well, we're going to see whether we can entice you to come in and look at them, possibly buy them. Jacob, let's start with you. What have you got?
I have a Legator. I have no idea model numbers for Legators because, like Ibanez, they don't seem to make any sense. Although I have a feeling some of them do actually have names, which is quite nice. But this is a Legator that we have in at the moment, who are a brand that if you've been listening to any metal within the last 10 years, you probably know to some degree. I think their high-end stuff is really, really lovely, and their low-end stuff is really, really lovely too. And it comes with a load of spec at the price point that is honestly just really nice, like multi-scale. And if you're not sure how multi-scale works and you're not quite sure what it feels like, come in and have a play. It's really just actually not that different to a normal guitar. This is a very subtle multi-scale. This isn't like the massively crazy ones.
24 frets as well.
24 frets, yeah, and like really easy reach up there as well. It's a three-way switch because you've just got like the two humbuckers. It's not active. It looks active, but I promise it's not. And just one volume, because you don't need tone when we're playing shred.
Yes.
It's unimportant.
Yeah.
It's also got locking tuners
Yep.
on the back. And obviously the awesome thing about it is that it's got this beautiful like chameleon fade.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not
Not
really.
your thing,
no. I mean, it kind of is and isn't. I don't know. Maybe because it's not on the kind of guitar that I would play, but it's the color is cool. It's pearlescent. That's the kind of the fact that the headstock
Sean Connery.
Yeah. Miss Moneypenny, the headstock. Yeah, because it matches.
Yeah.
I do like. I think I've probably said this in videos before, but I do like the matching headstock thing. It is cool. I like if you've got a black guitar and then you've got the black face, and it's just kind of and even when you have like a maple board,
yeah, I was going to say
it kind of like I don't know, it just
ties it together.
Yeah, it ties it together. It's very cool. There's a reason that they did it back in the 60s, 50s, because it was just cool.
Yeah, and I mean the nice thing about it, like super low action. If you're into like your shreddy metal, or even if you just want something with like two humbuckers in it for it still does a load of rhythm guitar, and you can play like normal chord shapes on it just because the frets are at like wonky angles. You can still get all your like.
If you just like simple controls as well.
Yeah, like there's nothing super technical. Like there's no push pull or anything like that.
If you're doing a lot of tap dancing, I suppose. If you're tap dancing on the floor and you're not really,
you don't want
messing around with 3/4 volume there and blending your volumes and taking your tone back on one of the pickups.
No trem. It's just a really nice introduction to like the world of metally, shreddy, pointy guitars, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like my first shredder, which I love. And I think it comes in at like $499 as well, so it's like right.
500 quid. Yeah, it's a lot of guitar for 500 squids. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, sort of thing. Go on, Danny. What you got?
What have I got? I've got this is a Epiphone Casino. So it's the cool thing about casinos or Gibson ES330s, not 335s, 345s, 355s, is they're fully hollow. So a 355 or 345, 335, or a I can't remember, the Rivera or something like that. They all have central blocks. So the two wings are hollow, but it's got a central block that runs through. And what's kind of cool about these guitars is they're obviously lighter. They can have a tendency to feedback if you're playing more distorted or gainy stuff. But favoured by jazz guys and blues guys and even people like Noel Gallagher. They played them, him and Bonehead. I think they both had Epiphones back in the day. And I can remember in an interview Noel Gallagher saying that he liked the fact that it was kind of alive and it would feedback because they were playing with huge stage volumes. And but he said by the end of like using them, he could really control it really well. He'd know where to sit and stand for the amps and all that kind of thing. So they're kind of like thin line jazz boxes almost. The other difference is obviously they come with P90s, which is a single coil instead of a humbucker. So and the P90 is kind of like everyone's favorite pickup. Everyone plays humbuckers. Loads of people play Strats, and then it's like nobody really talks about P90s that often. But they're kind of like everyone's secretly it's the best pickup, and it definitely is the best pickup. It's got more warmth and it's got more thickness than a Strat, but it's not as. I'm not saying that humbuckers are muddy, because they're not, especially very nice ones.
But they offer something a little different.
They're quite a thick. They can be quite a thick sound, but yeah, these are great. I've been a P90 fan for a while, but I suppose it's the type of music that I listen to and playing. This is a Chinese one. They make them in China now. They used to make them in Korea. Before that, they made them in Japan. Those guitars go for a hell of a lot of money. And then obviously the ones from the 60s. We got a friend who just sold one. I think he got 10 grand for it, something like that. So yeah, they're very expensive. So if you haven't got £10,000 to spend, you can buy one of these. Now these are about £500 new. I think we're selling this for £350, and it is basically brand new. The gentleman who had it last didn't really play it. He just sort of had it. Must have bought it on a bit of a whim. What's cool as well, it's kind of like an ebony kind of finish. So it's just sort of like black ebony finished, like satin.
With the double binding as well.
Yeah, double binding. So it's just like the classic specs of a Casino. Obviously Casino, you can't not mention the Beatles. Obviously John Lennon had one. So if you really wanted, you could strip the black off this, and you'd have to change one of your knobs to like a dark coloured, like a black volume knob or whatever. And then you've got Lennon on tap. But yeah, they're really cool guitars, and even these Chinese ones are very well made. It's a weird thing about the Casinos. No matter which factory and which country of origin they've been made, they've always been like really stellar guitars. It's really weird. Sometimes you can get Strats made in different factories and things, and they can be really ropey, even the American ones. But something about Casinos, I've never played a bad one, it seems. Maybe it's the fact that it's because it's, they have to be made properly because it's fully hollow. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, this is up second hand, but it's basically brand new. Yeah. Is there a little mark there? No, that's just a bit of dust. Yeah, there's not a mark on it. It's basically there's a couple of little scratches on the back.
Bit of buckle rash.
But yeah, it's beauty. Yeah, and what's cool about them is you get a little bit more volume when you're playing it, just around the house, because they resonate a bit more because you've got a fully hollow chamber.
This is a Cordoba stage classical, because I realise that we talk a lot about acoustics and electrics, but we don't talk a lot about classical guitars.
No.
Not that this is a classical guitar, but it is a classical nonetheless. Or nylon string.
Nylon string, yeah.
Again, super thin for a classical. It does have a battery in it for the preamp. Obviously, these sort of guitars are back in favour at the moment, thanks to our Lord and Saviour, Tim Henson of Polyphia. This is not the Ibanez, obviously this is Cordoba, but I mean, this thing it's real nice. Really pretty top, really, really nice sounding electrics, solid like mahogany body and mahogany neck. And it's a proper cap as well, like it is actually a top as opposed to just the veneer.
I mean, it's called a Cordoba stage because that is where you should use it. It's not it's not a home instrument in the fact that you would play it acoustically. I mean, you get a little bit of acoustic. Funnily enough, you get more acoustic resonance from that Casino
than you do from
that. But this is, I mean, it's literally called a Cordoba stage, so it is meant to be for plugging in and playing, two people. So if you've got a gig, and if you want kind of like a Willie Nelson kind of sound, or if you want that kind of classical sound, you don't want the normal electroacoustic sound, then these are literally perfect. You can bring this to a gig, or you can use it to record, I suppose, would be another good use for it.
Absolutely. If you've not got like nice expensive microphones, but you just want a classical sound on a track, it's really, really handy. The other thing is, like, I think if you're doing like weddings and stuff, and someone wants like a little bit of classical in the background, and
you don't want a modern or another, like if you've got to bring, say if you're a gigging musician, you've got to bring two guitars, like either one of as a backup, or just because it's got a different sound, and you need like that third thing. yeah, if you want, like, instead of bringing a whole classical guitar with like a microphone that you got to put in front of it, or it's got to have, like, that is literally perfect.
Yeah.
And it doesn't weigh a lot. You can just use it and use it for its intended purpose.
Yeah. It's obviously not a traditional classical in any sense of the word. However, obviously it plays.
Well, it's traditional in the sense that it's got a wider neck.
That's what I was going to say, is that it is actually the same size as a normal classical, but obviously if you're coming from playing an electric guitar, it feels a little bit more like an electric than a traditional classical would. So it kind of fills a niche, I suppose.
Okay, now play some Bolivia licks, please.
I can play Playing God very badly.
Okay, go on then.
That's about as far as I've got.
I can see like the neck tattoo.
It's
just like
coming
in,
isn't it?
You just got to
on my face are receding.
You got to shave that beard, shave that as 5 o'clock shadow, and then you have to look like you're 14. So this is obviously it's an acoustic guitar, but this is a Matthew Carter. Now, Matthew Carter doesn't go by Matthew Carter anymore. He goes by Elysian Guitars. He used to be made in London. I think he worked out of a shop in London. No, he works somewhere in like the Pennines or something like that these days. I might have got that a little bit wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he's
changed locations.
He's changed locations. That's certainly. Anyways, he for a number of years, he went under his name, Matthew Carter, hence the MC, and then there's like a little number there. I don't know if that was the model number or if that was the 326th guitar that he made. I'm not exactly sure on that, but yeah, this is a handmade British handmade guitar. Cedar top. I think it's walnut back and sides. Was it? Yeah, walnut back and sides. It's got really nice center stripe down the bottom, or down the middle, I should say. And don't get me wrong, this guitar has been gigged. I've got some shallow tuners on it as well. This, we've got some scrapes and some dinks. Because this thing has 100% been played. This is it. Don't get me wrong; it's not like Willie Nelson's guitar. That's the second Willie Nelson. We should have a counter in the top corner every time Danny mentions Willie Nelson. Yeah, there's another one. So it's not like Trigger, which is Willie Nelson's guitar. It's not got holes in it, but yeah, it's pretty big. But that's reflected in the price. Yeah, an incredible sounding guitar for just under $2,000. Well, a fair bit.
14.99.
£14.99, yeah, 15 quid.
Well, yeah, you're effectively getting handmade luthier for
like a Brook or something like that for the price of an Auden or a virtual or something. Still nice guitars, but this is handmade. Obviously, probably 10-15 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer than that. But yeah, it's a hell of a lot of guitar for the money. It does come with the Cymbal piezo pickup. There's a battery and the neck block, which works absolutely fine. But it's just the way it sounds. It's also quite an interesting size. It's quite a chunky thing. But I feel like this is his own design or his own shaping. So it's kind of like an OM but bigger, like wider here. But yeah, I don't know. It's very captivating. You sort of look at it, and you see.
I find little things in it.
And you just think, where's this been gigged? Where, did it ever travel overseas or
where around
the where? Yeah, it's great, and I think wear is fine as long as it doesn't affect the way that it plays or sounds, and it's not affected it one iota.
Now, if you've got a hole in the guitar and it rattles, it's a different thing.
It's set up really nicely. There's still a little bit more in the saddle, so it could come down a little bit further. But for me, for an acoustic guitar, that's fine. It's probably about 2, maybe 2.25 at the 12th, which for an acoustic guitar, you don't want to set them too low, or then they don't have enough, break angle at the bridge, and it's not pressing down on the top. So yeah, it's a really, really cool, really vibey guitar. Yeah, and I'm sure that it will go pretty quickly. It might even be gone by the time we shoot this video. We've not had it in for very long, so yeah, it should be going up on the website fairly soon. And yeah, it'll be up for sale. Yeah, there we go.
That's
Any other bits of news that we want to talk about this week?
We had the thing about we can get some Gibson little bits and bobs now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
not a lot of Gibson bits and bobs, but a couple.
So I have made posts on our social medias about this a few times, but something to be aware of: Intersound is not just the four walls and all the guitars that we've got. 200 guitars or 200 instruments, amps and spare parts and strings and all that. We are obviously an extension of our brands that we do, and also the suppliers that we have. So if there is a particular brand or supplier, or if you want to support the shop, always give us a call, because you'll be surprised. Like, we can get Fluence pickups in. Obviously, we don't have a cabinet full of Fluence pickups, Fisherman Fluences, on display. But if you would like some, we can always order them in. But yeah, the what Jacob's sort of talking about was, a while ago we were able to get in Fender spare parts. So that even includes necks. So if you want a Japanese or an American neck, maybe you just want one for a parts build that you're building, or you just want one for a guitar because, I don't know, something's happened with the truss rod and you need a new one, then you can always order it through us. Even their cases, their pedals, strap buttons, like trem blocks, like all that kind of stuff, and even like straps, just like little bits and pieces,
like accessories,
little accessory, accessory things. And in the same breath, now we can also do that with Gibson. So with one of our suppliers, we can get in things like Gibson cases. We can even get in cool merch stuff, which we were looking at. You
can get signs.
You can get signs and cool, like, vintage looking signs that they've reproduced, or you can get clocks.
Because of course you can.
Because of course you can. Yeah. Why not? But yeah, the cases and other bits and pieces. I don't think there weren't any pickups.
No, I don't think we can get
selection.
Parts yet. But
yes.
you never know.
But you never know. Yeah, it could get added to over time. The Fender one was fairly extensive when it came online, but I've noticed that they've added more stuff over time. And I can always look at what they've got in stock in the actual European warehouse as well. So it's not just we'll order it, or we can give you like a fairly decent time frame of when it will come in, or if they have it in stock and they'll be able to ship it out that day or the next day, something like that. So yeah, if there's anything that you need Gibson related, it's just cool to be able to supply that kind of stuff. Me and Jacob have got a couple of Gibsons as well, so if we ever need spares, hopefully we can get them as well. We don't have to go online and buy them. And
also, it's not just like Fender and Gibson. I mean, we can get like stuff that we don't stock in the shop typically, but if you are looking for it, like you say, Fishman pickups, we can do LTD and ESP. Also, not just guitars, like we've got Dixon drums. I've just bought a load of Gator cases for my drum kit and a load of Meinl cymbals.
Meinl cymbals,
which is huge.
Yeah, I sold to a gentleman last year a hand pan that was from Meinl. That wasn't a cheap piece of kit, but it was a really lovely, really, really, really lovely piece of what would it be, brass or bell brass or something like that.
I don't know.
But what's the cymbal normally made out of? Is it
bronze? Usually.
Bronze. Oh, it was bronze then. Yeah, it was one of the bronze ones. Yeah. So yeah, Meinl, and then what are the very cool brands that we could do, but we don't have them. Sandberg
bases we can do. Yeah, if you want a custom Sandberg, let us know. Or any of their normal line actually are really cool as well.
Yeah. What
vintage, but we stock those guys in store normally as well.
Yeah. What's the stuff that we've been gone through and you were surprised that we could get?
But like 14 amps, like and PV amps as well. If if you're into me and you like your high gain, you want like an Invective 120, you get Invective 120s, which is great.
Yeah. We should be getting a kind of cool PV amp, a small PV Decade 2, which is the Josh Homme signature. That should be coming in at some point. So just bear it in mind anyway. You don't have to buy everything from your guitars and not PMTs, or I was going to say GAC, but which are no longer. But your big online stores. If you want to support your local independent shop as well, or if you just want to support a couple of young handsome guys, or if you want to support one young handsome guy and a guy increasingly getting older and older, then you can.
Yeah.
Anyway,
come in store, give us a call, give us an email.
Give us an email, call, pop in and just see what we can do. Just to keep it all going. The new Paul Davidson. Is it Paul?
I don't know what you're talking
That
about.
guy, like YouTube guy. YouTube dude who we were just watching.
Oh yeah,
Paul.
I can't remember.
It's Paul Davidson.
Something like that.
The very famous Scandinavian.
Who's really cool.
Who's really
Does
good.
really good
Mike
interviews.
Paul. I swear it's Paul Davidson. Anyway.
Luke will correct it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Just stick a little title here.
Put
and
an
tell us.
annotation. Anyway,
Yeah.
he's done a new video in the last couple of days with a really cool guitar player called Barry Cadogan, who he's in a band called Little Barry, and he's done session work for tons of people. But check that video out. That is guitar playing. That is incredible. Yeah, really, really. It's not necessarily lots of fancy, flashy tricks, but he's got feel and pocket and, you know, everything for days. And yeah, I want to highlight that because I watched it last night and I'm feeling enthused about playing guitar and music again. It's
he's cool.
He's
real cool.
Cool guy, really cool.
Yeah, and you sat at home right now, and I'm talking to you. Go and check the audio of your car and top it up because it's important. And your brakes. Take your car in for a service. It's important,
yeah.
you know. Look after yourselves.
Is that life advice because you wish you'd told yourself that 6 months ago?
Before my car started falling apart.
Right,
absolutely.
yeah. No, hey, he's passing it on.
Yeah.
There we go.
And
anyway,
also, if your car explodes, then you can't make it down to come and look at cool guitars. So,
yeah,
you
that's
look
fair.
after your guitar. Look after your cars,
that's
man.
fair. That's fair. Right, that was another Off the Hook. I don't know when this will be releasing. Probably in sometime.
July, maybe.
Yeah, July, maybe even August. Who knows? I'd like to thank Jacob. I'd like to thank.
And I'd like to thank Danny.
I'd like to thank Luke for editing this video so well. Yeah, I feel like we should end with a song. It feels like we should. Should we end with our theme tune?
I was going to say, should we do that? Yeah.
Sing with the theme tune. Write the theme tune.
Sing the theme tune.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to teach you the riff, the Intersound?
Go on.
Riff?
Yeah. Go on.
So, because you got to be.